Hello, intuitive viewers. So I look like this because I'm going to bed. But as I was getting ready to go to bed, um, I got a couple of things. I've been kind of getting little bits and pieces all day because I've asked the question about this meeting that's supposed to take place with the generals tomorrow. And I've gotten a lot of interesting stuff. And I thought maybe I would share it because I thought it might help because I know it's a little nerve-wracking and it's kind of like, what are they doing? What are they up to? Um, so I'll just tell you the things that I got and you guys can do with it what you will, but hopefully it will help to kind of ease your worry a little bit. So the first thing that I got was that the military and the generals um, can't stand and don't like or respect or anything Pete Hegseth. And I feel like it gets back to him in little ways. Now, I know that they don't overtly say, like, that guy's a tool, that guy's, but that is what they think. And I feel like it's in probably little ways, like eye rolling or whatever, and just, talking amongst themselves and that kind of thing. But I feel like either he feels that or he knows. But so I feel like part of this is about him like asserting his position and daddy's going to be there to say, you better listen to me. So it's kind of like that. Because they know like he's a tool, he's from Fox News. I mean, when had people like Millie in charge with all of these, these years and years of experience and combat experience and all this, when you get this guy, come on, they know. Um, so he feels inadequate, basically, and he gets some feedback that makes him feel more inadequate. I think the King's Day thing was kind of embarrassing for him because he set it all up and they shuffled along like they didn't care. I guess they didn't. And so I feel like this is one of those things where he wants to like assert his position or whatever. So that's part of it. The other part of this is that the stuff with Jimmy Kimmel, well, first of all, the stuff with Elon Musk, with like people boycotting Tesla and all of that stuff and showing up at the Tesla places and sinking his ship, basically running him out of town. And now the Jimmy Kimmel thing where we brought Disney to their knees, right? And then Disney put pressure on Sinclair. It was just like a big fiasco. And so, and that freaked them out. And it freaked out the billionaires because the billionaires are like, hey, what are you guys doing? How's this going to work if this keeps happening? And what's happening with the American people is that MAGA's starting to wake up, a person at a time, and which is fine. Wake up, it's fine. Wake up, it's fine. Wake up. The air is, the air is fine up here. Um, but people are realizing the power they have. And now they've had two wins and more like three wins because the No King's Day was a definite win because his birthday was a mess and tons and millions of people showed up to the No King's protest. So, right. So the people, when they are active and they're together, they're winning basically. And we now know and we're learning, and even the guide said this was part of this whole thing was people realizing the power that they have, the power that they have to really to manifest their own destiny, right? This is what they have this, and they don't use it, but they have it. And what's our power? Our work, our consumerism, and our taxes. Those three things, they can't do anything. If we all say we're not going to work, we're not buying anything, and we're not giving you our money, then it's over, right? So, and people are starting to realize this. People are starting to feel like, oh, we do have the power. We have enough power right now that we can, if we can shut down Disney and make them back off, that's a lot of power, right? So they're trying to intimidate, assert their power back, and they're using the military to intimidate us. And I feel like it's going to be maybe a combination of kind of maybe even AI. It could be like before when my guide said that military thing was fake with the guy with the all the military behind them, and it was scary to everybody. And I got the message that was smoke and mirrors. It was fake. And a few days later, it came out. It was all fake. They had a bunch of his own supporters behind him, even some of his own people in uniform, and it was a staged event. And that is what they do best, is staged nonsense. That's what his rallies were, right? You'd see the rally from back far away, and it would be just a few people in front and a few people in the back, right? And everything else was empty. So it's gonna be like a staged event. And I also feel like after the UN that he felt very emasculated. Humpty Dumpty felt very emasculated because he had to walk up the stairs. Poor little Humpty Dumpty had to roll up the stairs. Um, and he, the teleprompter fiasco, and he just whatever. And it was embarrassing. And so I feel like he's coming back from that, right? So it's two bruised egos going in to assert power over all these people. And I feel like they either it will be similar to before where they put his own supporters behind him or something like that and make it look like rah rah rah, or it's fake. It's like completely fake. It's AI generated, or it's just a good editing, that kind of thing. But whatever it is, it's going to be trying to intimidate us because it's freaking them out that we've asserted power, and and they're kind of trying to get their power back, right? It's scaring them, and it's also concerning the people that are funding everything. So that's why they have to go out and make this big show. So that's what I got. And I feel like I wanted to share it because I feel like part of my role is to try to not not have us go into fear. Fear is a low vibration. To fight this on I say fight this, but to challenge this on a energetic level, we have to keep our vibration high. And I will tell you, I struggle some days because the energies are very weird and heavy and kind of crazy. But I remember what the guide said about keeping my energy clear, checking in once a day, just doing the things that we're meant to do to keep our gift of discernment, right? To know. And now we know why that was so important, because look how they lie about everything. And so even stuff we see with our own eyes, right? So, and this is their thing, but we're going to have lots and lots of information coming out that we're going to have to discern who's telling the truth. So to keep that gift of discernment clear and follow your instincts, follow your instincts. Um, is that everything? So I think that's everything for now. But I just wanted to hand that over because I don't want you guys to be afraid with whatever you see or whatever you hear. It could be a big bust, and they just, whatever, they just go home. But I have a feeling it's going to be more like a production. So just be aware and know that the military is like these guys, I think they're just, I think everybody's waiting for it to happen. That's what everybody's hanging their hat on. And I think partly them too, because you know, I also felt like Humpty Dumpty does not know what's going on a lot of the time, that he's being told a lot of stuff that's just not true. They're just manipulating and kind of getting him to sign stuff and do what, because he doesn't care. He's just making a ballroom. He doesn't care. Or building his ballroom, whatever, hanging up gold stuff. He doesn't care. Um, but I felt like they're keeping him busy and having him kind of stick with the plan, and they tell him what they need to tell him to get him to sign and do whatever, and that's the way this is rolling, and they're trying to do this quickly because they have a feeling too that that this may not go on, it could go on a long time, but I don't know. I don't know, but I know they're getting nervous, and because there's nobody to hold the group together like him. Vance is not it. Stephen Miller's not it. Pig Headset definitely is not it. So, this is it. And so they're just going for it. And that's what's happening. So, yeah, keep your energy clear. Don't be afraid. No, there's going to be lots and lots of smoke and mirrors. Use your gift of discernment to discern what's true, what's not, and it'll be fine. Okay? All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.